There's this woman going viral everywhere. I don't know who she is. Her name is Tori Lahren. I don't know. She's giving her final thoughts on the whole situation. I'm going to get my final thoughts on her final thoughts because I feel she's missing the whole concept of where everybody's anger is coming from. I think not only is she missing it, everybody else is missing it. So I'm going to play the video in the background.
If you've been waiting for my final thoughts on Alton Sterling, well, here you go. Here's what we know. Police were called to a Baton Rouge convenience store on a man with a gun call. They approached Alton Sterling because he matched the description given by the caller. There was a conversation that led to some sort of altercation. We don't know why. A random person in a car pulled out a cell phone and recorded the incident just as officers pulled a taser on Sterling. The cell phone video is crappy, but we can hear the taser crackle for a second time. The taser doesn't subdue Sterling, and he's not complying with the officers from what we can tell. He's tackled by an officer and, of course, starts resisting arrest while the officers struggle to pin him to the ground. We hear one of them yell, "He's got a gun." And we can't see Sterling's right arm, but the officer is still fighting to subdue him. Then we hear the gunshots. That is what we know. That is all we know. We don't know what we can't see.
Okay. Granted, that is all we know. And she was about to say, we don't know what we can't see. You're correct. But had you not given your final thoughts before the Daily News came out with the fact that he had nothing in his hands, you wouldn't have said that, I'm positive. Or you probably would have because you're ignorant. My problem with this is, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to talk right now. I'm going to let her finish so you guys can see. Hopefully you guys understand that her mentality is literally messed up.
It is under investigation and for the Justice Department to decide. Whether or not it was justified is not for the court of public opinion to decide. It's for the Justice Department.
Right. It's not for the public. It's not for public opinion. However, you cannot tell somebody to shut their mouths when they have something to say because it's not going to happen. If somebody is mad about something, if somebody is angry, I'm pretty sure that this woman right here is upset. Nobody is telling her to shut her mouth. Nobody, and granted, she's not even telling us to shut our mouth, but that's what she's implying. People are upset. When somebody is upset and they don't want to get violent and they voice their opinion, people are making judgments based on what they see. And that's what this woman fails to understand. Let's continue.
This isn't for a sketchy cell phone video to decide. It's for the Justice Department. That's the way the law works. It's the same law that let Hillary Clinton off the hook yesterday. That's how this thing works.
The law that let Hillary Clinton off the hook yesterday, whatever it is, happened yesterday. It's a whole different situation. I get where she's coming from, but it's a whole different situation. We're talking about somebody's life here. We're not talking about the President of the United States because America lost their marbles about that situation a long time ago. Stay on track.
But get the story straight. Alton Sterling did not get shot for selling CDs. And to put forth that narrative is dishonest. Just as hands up, don't shoot was dishonest. Be mad. Be mad as hell. But don't create your own narrative. Here's what we know about Sterling. Sterling was a registered sex offender. He was previously arrested for aggravated battery, criminal damage to property, unauthorized entry, and domestic abuse battery. In 2009, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison for marijuana possession and for carrying an illegal weapon with a controlled dangerous substance.
Okay, now what I want to know is, what did he get arrested for if it wasn't for selling CDs? Resisting arrest? Because from the video, from the video, granted, it was a crappy, quote unquote, crappy cell phone video, but from the video, he wasn't resisting much. That's number one. Number two, why are you bringing up his track record when it has nothing to do with his death? The cops shot, what's his name, Alton Sterling? They shot him dead. And you want to talk about him being a sex offender, him being this, that, and the third. What happened in 2009? What happened in 2009 is not 2016. So ever this lady is getting her ignorant attitude from, her ignorant mentality, she needs to take it and put it back and actually look at what's going on. Talking about be mad as hell. No, you're not giving. You're the type of people that will not give us the chance to be upset about anything because you have something ignorant to say about what is going on. You want to take the wrong side. It's not even about. It's what you're talking about. The Justice Department. Where is their justice in what's happening right now? Where is their justice in what's happening right now?
Family members said he was on probation when he died and would have not been allowed to carry a gun.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's what we know. It's interesting, though. When a terrorist shoots up a military recruiting center in Chattanooga, we can't seem to find a motive. When a terrorist shoots up an Orlando nightclub in the name of radical Islam, Allah, and ISIS, we can't seem to find a motive. We have to wait for the facts. We have to blame the gun. Yet, when an officer uses deadly force outside a convenience store after an altercation and the only evidence we have is a crappy cell phone video, suddenly we know the motive is white racism. No, that doesn't cut it. We can't see Sterling's right.
You see, she said white racism. Okay, that's one motive. That's one motive, and that is the only motive you chose to point out because of the simple fact that you're white. That has nothing to do. Listen, there's a bigger issue at hand, and this is what I'm talking about. It's not white racism that you guys should be trying to end because that's going to happen regardless. There's racism against Muslims. There's racism against Chinese people. There's racism against every single race in this world. The point is police brutality has got to stop. And that is what not only this woman, Tomi, whatever her last name is, should be focused on, but the American people as a whole should be focused on putting an end to police brutality. Those are my final thoughts on her final thoughts.